Hi there, it's Kathy Howes with Be Creative with Kathy. I'm going to just show you real quick. I was putting together my on-stage swaps. Remember, if you watch my videos before, you know that I was in 3 of them. And I guess I should apologize, I'm a little bit late today. But anyway, I showed you last Thursday, I think it was, one of my swaps. Now today I'm going to show you my Fun Fold swap. So what it is it's a Connie Stewart's Z-Fold Easel card. Now I took her fold and just made my own card out of it, and I kind of changed up a few things, but this is what the card looks like that, and you do the easel part and then it folds under here and then it sits up. Now on her video she showed a way that you could do the fold down here at the bottom. I'm not even sure how that is, but I have a couple little tricks and tips that I'll show you as I put my card together. Now, because it's a swap and I've already made a bunch of them, I think I need 2 more, but whatever. I've done all the die cutting, most of the stamping and all that. I'm just going to show you how to put it together. As always, if you go to my blog, you can see a sheet like this that has all the stuff that I used and the measurements and stuff, so you can see that. The link will be below, or it's becreativewithkathy.com, and hopefully I have all the kinks and out so you can actually get to my blog now. Fingers crossed, right? But let me show you the card pieces real quick and then we'll go ahead and roll. I'm hoping I can get 2 of them done, but maybe just 1 in the video, because you know how I am. I get nervous and then I stop. So all right, so this is thick basic white. It's a half sheet of cardstock, so it's 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I've scored it here at 5 1/2, and I'm going to make sure that those folds on those score lines are really good, because when you have a fun fold like this, you want it to be able to fold and stay up and stuff like that. So there's the 5 1/2, and then I'm going to bring up this 2 3/4 and make sure the sides are lined up, and that'll be my second fold. I'm going to make sure, like I said, that these have a nice crisp fold on them like this. Okay, so now I think we're pretty good. And really on my card, this is going to be this way. This is going to really be the top up here with no fold, and this is going to be the bottom. Then I have a piece of designer series paper. Now this, and I should have brought the stack over here, but I didn't. This is from the Daisies. I can't remember what it's called, but like I said, you can see the list of supplies over there on my blog. But we're going to just take this real quick and lay it on that. Whoop, maybe we are. New adhesive refill, and so it wasn't started yet. There we go. But we're going to just lay this up here on this top part, and I have to turn it and do it this way. But there we go. Now we have that layer right there. Isn't that pretty? I love that moody mauve color. Okay, then we need something on the front. So I took, let's see these pieces here. Now this is moody mauve. I think this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then I cut a piece of basic white that's just 1/4 of an inch smaller, so that would be, what, 4 1/2 by 3. And I ran this through my die cut machine, an emboss machine, with that exposed brick folder. And so it has that texture on it now. And when I run them through the folder like this, I usually like to use the liquid glue on the back, and then that way your tape runner doesn't push all of that texture. You just put on your paper, push out, I should say, or lay down, or smooth out is a better word. All that texturing we just put on our paper. So I like to use liquid glue, and I'm going to just layer that right there on top of that one. Okay. Now what I want to do to this, because I'm not going to put any words on the front, the words are actually going to be on the back, and then you slip them onto the front. I need to put some more, we'll just cover some more white area. So I took this in color jute, I think that's what this is called. And then Rhonda Wade reminded me that you can take your jute like this and you can separate this into 3, because this is really thick and kind of awkward. And if you take these and separate them, see how you can get 3 strands out of there of nice, smaller, softer kind of jute is what, or string. It's like I can't think of what it's, linen thread, there we go, that we sell in a neutral color. But if you take your time and you unravel one of these, now I've already done it for you, I'm not going to make you sit and watch, but I cut mine into about 36 inches, so I only had to do a few of them, and then I separated those, right? And then I took them and I cut them in half, there we go. So it's about 18 inches here of just that one strand, but you can see how thin it is compared to how it started out. So that's what I did for this, because I want to wrap this around the bottom. So I'm going to get a little bit stronger adhesive and just put that in the middle here, and then wrap. Oh, I might have to get it closer to the edge over here. I want to make sure that I don't have any adhesive on the top half, only on the bottom half of this piece that's been embossed. And then I'm going to just take this and wrap it around there like that. And that's a little closer together. And I'm going to try to get it straight and evenly apart and stuff like that. Let's see how that did, and stick that down to that adhesive on the back. And that right there looks pretty good. So I'm going to reinforce that with just some regular everyday Scotch tape, because I don't want that to come off like that. And this, in my eyes, is the best way to attach ribbon to your cardstock. Now you see all these frayed edges and stuff like that. I love that. I think it gives it really pretty texture. And so if you're okay with that, good for you, because that's how this is going to look when you're done. But that's, so I have the bottom of there decorated now. Okay, so now a couple other things I've done is I took a piece of that Moody Mauve cardstock and Moody Mauve ink, and I stamped on there. And then I took the die set that coordinates with this Eastern texture. That's what I stamped it with, was this right here, right? And then I cut it out with the little coordinating die, so it looks like this. And then on some basic white, I did the same thing with these, I don't know if they're feathers or leaves, but with this thing here, and cut that out. And then I used the dies with some gold, and I cut out this little piece and this piece here. So we're going to decorate the front of our card with those pieces. So where'd the front of our card go? Here it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put this down onto my card. So I'm going to kind of lay my basket or my pot or whatever you call this thing where I think it's going to go, so I know where my feather, leafy thing, whatever this is. And I'm going to start from the top. It kind of has, see these little bumps like this? I'm going to start on the third one and just put a little bit of glue like this. Now you can't put the glue too high, because in the end your easel is going to go under this piece. At least mine does, and so I'd want the paper to go underneath there, and I'll show you again in my sample later. And then I'm going to just make sure it kind of fits in the pot, and I'm going to lay it down. So you can kind of see where it needs to go, and it's not held down up here, because I started with the third one. Does that make sense? Those kind of bumps? I hope it does. Then on this one, I'm going to turn him over, and I'm going to use dimensionals. Here they are. I'm going to put a big dimensional right here and a little dimensional or mini dimensional just on there, because then I'm going to lay this on my cardstock here, or on the front of my card right here. And I think it looks good right about like that. Okay, now it's time to put our pot together. So a little bit of adhesive, I'm going to just run along the back of the top. There we go. And put this gold piece behind, because I like just a little bit of silver showing. I could have put it in front, but I like just that little bit of gold on the handles sticking out. Okay, so now let's reinforce that gold with a dimensional here and another dimensional at the bottom. And then I found that I needed 2 mini dimensionals up here in the corner to make my pot really secure onto my card. So that's how I'm going to do my dimensionals here. And like I said, I've done a bunch of these and I've learned from error. So that's what worked for me. This here and this here. And then we're going to just put our little pot right here on our card, so it looks like that. Cute, right? And now our ribbon's secure because of the tape, but now we need to put this onto the front of our card. Now we don't want any glue up here on this piece, right? We don't want any glue here. We only want glue down here. And I'm going to use a nice strong glue, so I'm going to use liquid glue. And I'm going to start here next to that fold line. See how it's folded back like this, right? And just put some glue here. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. And I'm not being very stingy. I'm going to use a lot of glue. I want it to make sure it doesn't pop off when you pull and tug on it to make the easel part. Then I'm going to just lay this with this closed on the front of my card where it looks nice and centered there on the front. Making sure, of course, that there's no glue here where I don't want it. And then I'm going to open that up like this and make sure that's nice and stuck down and isn't going to come off of there, and let that glue do its job. So now we have a card that looks like that. Pretty, right? Okay, then ready to do the inside now. So using these dies here, these are some of my favorites here, the Something Fancy dies. These two shapes here, I cut out the bigger one in that moody mauve, and then a white in the smaller one, and then I stamped from that same stamp set the little thank you that fits in there just right. And I'm going to just go ahead and layer those two together. About like that. And then I'm going to take some, these are foam strips. Now you could also use the edge here of your dimensionals, that would work too. Just make sure that the straight side is where your card's going to bump up against it, and we need one that's about 2 inches long. So I'm going to just take my paper snips here, and I'm going to be out of camera because I'm going to measure this with my glass mat, but it's down here, and I'm going to go about 2 inches and just cut a piece of my foam strip, and the 2 inches fits perfectly at the top. I'm going to just put it up here at the top, trying to get it straight so that when my card bumps up against it, it's going to be straight. I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to reinforce that that's stuck on there. Take that the backing off. And then I'm going to just flip open my card, and I'm going to lay this piece. Now the top of my greeting needs to be at the top of this piece. And I'm going to lay it so it's centered between the two, and it looks pretty good close to the top here. So it looks about like that. I hope you can see it. I know it's the same color on the same color. It might be hard to see, but it's about right there. I'm going to hold that with my bone folder, and I'm going to just barely touch this down in case, because I want to see if I need to straighten it here. Now look, I did pretty good. Mine's pretty straight there, and then I'm going to just apply the pressure. So now when you've put this under there, it goes under that gold, which we didn't put too much glue, and it sets up just like that. Okay, now we need an inside here. So I have my last piece of basic white, and this, I'm gonna say is 3 by 4.5, but like I said, you need to go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and make sure you see the measurements there. I'm gonna just set this up here because this is where it's gonna go. And I'm going to just set it there without any adhesive yet, because I'm going to stamp on it, and then if I stamp bad or I'm not happy with my stamping, I can turn it over. And I'm like this. I'm going to take that moody mauve. I'm going to take the saying from the stamp set that says you always, nope, it says your thoughtfulness is so appreciated. Your thoughtfulness is much appreciated. There. I'm going to ink it up in that moody mauve. I'm going to practice once on just a scrap paper here. Make sure that, first of all, oops, it's not upside down. And that it looks good, because like I said, I don't want to mess up my paper. And I'm going to just figure about where I want it here, try to get it straight, and I'm going to just stamp that right there. Nice, right? Alrighty. Believe it or not, we are almost done. Okay, then we're going to take this piece, and I'm going to just put some liquid glue, because I want to be able to slide it around. So I'm going to put some liquid glue here on the back. If you're not worried about sliding around, you could use whatever adhesive here, but I like to slide it into place. I'm going to make sure it's centered pretty nice there. Let's see how I can kind of slide it around, and now it's straight and looks good. Press that down, okay? And then so you would put your card in an envelope like this, and then when they open it, they can set it on their desk with that easel part. Cute, right? Great card, Connie Stewart. So that's her fun fold, and I just took and put my stamps and ink with her fold. I'm looking here for my sequins. Sorry, lost train of thought here. I had them right here. Here they are, underneath my die set. So I'm going to use these pastel adhesive-backed sequins here. Get my take a pick tool, and I'm going to just take one big one. I think I'm going to use two big ones on this card and just splatter those along. And look how that little bit of gold from the sequins brings out the gold in your little, I guess it's a, I don't know what would you call this, a leaf, or yeah, a leaf or a feather. I guess that all depends. Here I took the glue dot off of my sequin and put it back on. There we go. And then one more big one right here. And there you go. So there's my swap for on stage in coming up. I think I leave in a little bit over a week. So as usual, I would take my card here, put it in my clear envelope, just like you saw me do on Thursday. And then I have a business card that I will stick back here with my name on it, and then tuck that under so they could still use the envelope if they wanted to. And there you go. And there's another swap. So let me show you real quick the swap from last time. I have them already here in my plastic bag. So this is the swap that I showed you on Thursday. If you want to go back and watch that video, you can find it on my blog, Be Creative with Kathy, as well. And then tomorrow I have the one more swap to show you. Let me give you a sneak peek here real quick. I need to finish these up. It looks like this. This is another swap I got into. This is called a non-shoebox swap. And just because it used to be we would take everything and do a shoebox swap there, now we're going to take swaps instead. Look, I think this one turned out really pretty. And then I have one more that I'll share with you on Monday. So hopefully you can meet me back here. Yes, I'm on Facebook Live here, and then I'll post my video onto YouTube, and I'll share the other swap with you. So thanks for watching. Here again is all the stuff that I use. I'm going to just get organized. I still have that one more card to make. I'm going to do that, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.